Hello, hello, welcome or welcome back. Let's sit back, relax, have a snack, and enjoy. Sit at My Grave, Season 4, Sanity or Salvation, Chapter 13. Arden waved a goodbye to Lizzie on his way out, his drier clothes making it easier for him to get back onto the cold street. Once alone again, his mind was attacking itself just for having an interaction with someone, for feeling that longing for his old life. How could he feel that? He'd be so angry with himself if he started breaking down. He didn't deserve it. Arden soon found himself in another area in that new town. There were small restaurants on either side of that dirt road, some only being a stand selling fresh fruits and vegetables or home-cooked goods. There were people out working, shopping, talking, and taking in the sights. Arden tried to get out of his own head as he approached the crowd. His legs were tired and throbbing from all his traveling, as were his arms from dragging his luggage around with him constantly. Arden slowly walked through the area, watching all the activity around him. His movements paused as his luggage wheel got caught on a rock. He tugged on it with weakened strength, pulling it loose, making himself stumble forward with it. He had to quickly stable himself, continuing his walk. Over here! Over here! This'll be the best biscuits and gravy you've ever had! Arden heard a shout from one stand. There was a stout man behind it, grinning, waving customers over. People sat around on little benches by his makeshift shop, laughing and talking with him as they ate. Another line of people also caught his eye. They were at a food truck parked nearby. The window was open, a couple seeming to run the place, one chatting and taking orders, getting the sales, while the other was back there cooking, both making little jokes with each other and their regulars as they worked. Arden felt one of the many open benches and sat down. It was serene. Somehow that pocket where people had gathered was a lot warmer than wandering the streets. It seemed like the clouds had parted from the sky, releasing its setting sun. Arden tried to get his head back together. He had to find a way to get some money. Walking around this place was getting him nowhere. He glanced around the crowd. Who would hire him? Question. What skills could he even offer? It was strange, Arden pondered. Seeing people out so carefree like this would look foolish and loud to him just a while ago. Now he could acknowledge the only thing that separated him from them was what he lacked, rather than what they did. Arden stood up. He hid his luggage away from the busy area before he walked over himself. He went to the first stand that caught his eye, just as the last customer sitting down with their food. The stand only consisted of some tables sitting next to each other, a table cover over them, holding a small cash box. Behind it was a generator, an electric stove hooked to it, along with a mini fridge, and another table back there the owner was using to cook on. Hello, what can I get for you? The man questioned. Arden glanced at his stained shirt, seeing his name tag, before looking back up to meekly meet his eyes. Do you need any help, Porter? Arden questioned, uncomfortably. Help? Porter questioned. I'm looking for a job, Arden answered honestly. He didn't sound confident at all, and almost thought of walking away. He knew his preferences weren't the most important thing right now. A job? I like it. The young'uns are hungry, Porter laughed heartily. Look like a little scrappy thing, actually. He paused, studying Arden's face. Arden absolutely shoved his hands in his pockets. You don't owe anyone any money, do you? You look pretty banged up, Porter questioned, scratching his chin. Arden frowned a little. He couldn't tell if it was a joke or not. He couldn't find the words to answer him. One of the things he hated about these social interactions. Well, I'll tell you what. You'll be my assistant for today. Keep the stove and areas clean, collect my customers' trash, and clean those tables once they're done, Porter instructed, pointing his stirring spoon at him. Arden nodded his head, coming back there with him, thankful someone had gave him something to do. Porter gave him an apron, showed him where the rags and cleaning supplies were, then turned away, continuing to cook and conversate boisterously, the loud sounds making Arden duck his head down, now being closer to the action. The area around the stove was a mess. Greasy splatters, gravy spills, and sticky dough clinging to it. The scent of it all together smelled delicious. Observing the place, Arden noticed there was some gunk crusted around in areas that looked like they hadn't been cleaned in days. Arden watched Porter briefly, before getting to work spraying that cleaning product, starting to wipe away the area. It wasn't very hard to do, but it made Arden think of home. He had chores every now and then, but he didn't remember cleaning all that much. Arden found himself trying out different tools, scrubbing at areas, but St. Paul was always careless as he began cooking up new batches of food, creating more spills here and there, throwing used utensils and napkins everywhere. Arden thought to tell him how dumb it was for him to constantly be cleaning up after him, but bit his tongue with it. He instead moved over to where the customers were eating, cleaning up tables where they were finished. Arden tried to keep balance, only going to the back of the portal when he needed to, and being sure to clean everything once over again, once service began to slow down to a stop. It wasn't too laboring of work compared to what he'd gotten used to on the farm, but it was tedious, messy work. He just had to remember it would all be worth it in the end.